Welcome, or welcome back. Hey, Plasma. What does the white heart mean? I don't know my heart colors. Let me look. White heart emoji. Oh my god, love and purity, admiration. Oh my god, that's powerful. Yikes. Hang on, how do There we go. Welcome to Open Panel Night. It's been a few days. Here I am. I gotta get you a stream in now and then. I probably won't be out tomorrow, so Friday will be the next time you'll probably see me. So I wanted to be sure and get one in today. You know I miss you guys, and I love you guys. I ain't gonna lie. I can't stay away too long. Hey Bart, how are you? What's up? Um, just doing the open panel thing. I haven't been around for. I've been getting over a cold. I had a cold early this week. In fact, I still kind of have a little bit of it. Hey, Helena. And so I have been in complete rest and recover mode, and I have not been paying attention to much of the outside world at all. So I feel like I lost some time, or there's a gap in my experience. Let me posit two possibilities. The same looping storylines are still looping, or three possibilities, or nothing happened at all, or some amazing eventful drama that I'm the last person to hear about happened. Philly cheesesteak. Are you in Philly? The best Philly cheesesteak I've ever had was when I visited Philly. And I haven't been able to find a cheesesteak that lives up to that ever since. It was so good. It was the real thing. It was at it was in Drexel Hill, actually. I was staying with a friend. And it was like a little greasy spoon, mom and pop, hole in the wall. Like you walk up to the counter and you order. It's not a sit down place. And they write your order down, they scribble it on the little green order pad, and then they hand it to the back or stab it on that thing, whatever. It was one of those places. It was so good. Oh, are you cooking? What are you making? I wonder, I don't want to influence your food to be bad, or one way or the other, really. Hey, Shift. Yep, you have been, I don't know. I've never been to Jersey, but that Philly, it was maybe even the top sandwich ever that I've had of any sandwich. That includes po' boys, that includes Chicago beef sandwiches. It was so good. It was way up there, way up top. So, what's going on with y'all? Oh my God, are you making it for homemade? God, I hate people who can cook. I'm so hate born out of envy. The good kind of hate. Um, it's a compliment. I am so kitchen impaired, and people that can throw that kind of stuff together just amaze me. I'm just like in awe. You dated a girl that lives in Drexel Hill. Oh, maybe they knew each other. And I remember there was like a motorcycle shop on the main drag that we started because my friend had a motorcycle. He he picked me up from the airport and drove me back to the airport on the back of his motorcycle. And so there was this big motorcycle place on the corner that we stopped at that I remember as well. And just how nice Philly was. It was the fall, like just starting the fall, so the leaves were turning, and they had all different colors, all different shades and colors, and everything was so historical, like almost like out of picture books. I liked Philly. I liked it a lot. I was only there for a weekend, but the little taste of it I had left me with a good impression. But so did Seattle when I first visited. So can't always go by that. Isn't that weird though? Like, why does it? What is it about the brain or evolution where we have a really strong sense of a person or a place initially, and then get a completely different sense over time as we get to know them? What's the? Why don't we just get an instant sense of who the person is? Why is that learning curve? And then why are the feelings so different at the beginning and then at the end? Just something I think about. Because you don't really know reality, because that initial sense of, oh, what an amazing place is reality to you at the time, because you don't know the reality yet that comes from actually living there until and when the magic starts to wear off. And then when the magic wears off and you're living in the like ordinary humdrum reality from just familiarity and repeated experience, then that seems like reality to you. But none, like, it's all subjective or in your mind, in your brain, and it's all a form of reality at the time. So what's the reason for all that? I don't know. Like, why did the brain develop that way? Maybe Helena has thoughts. What's up?
Yeah, I heard you had a cold.
I did. I still kind of do, but I'm
Ugh.
coming out. I'm on the tail end of it.
Well, 3 days ago, I woke up with a swollen knee. I don't know why.
Just out of the blue, random.
Yeah,
That's weird.
yeah. And now it
What
hurts like hell.
did you see somebody about it or call?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But I have this bad habit. I look things up, and I don't know. Then I see all these really horrible things but not all the reasons for getting that are horrible. But naturally, I concentrate on the horrible things. So I think it's just inflammation or something.
Have
Because
you
you know what?
taken pictures of it
For what?
just to have to show somebody if you need to? Because sometimes I'll take a picture of whatever and send it through my chart or whatever digital chart to my doctor, and then a nurse will look at it
Oh,
and be able to kind of triage it and tell me how,
right.
like, we need to see you right away or this could wait.
Okay. Well, I'll try that. I'll try that.
And that way you don't
But
have
it,
to like get
mm,
on the phone and wait and chase people down. They can just do it electronically through the chart.
yeah, it mostly just hurts when I try to sit down. It's
Ooh.
very strange.
Do you have to like elevate it? Hey, Daniel Barry.
Yeah, yeah.
And have you had that before or anything like it?
No,
Hmm.
not at all. Now, a month ago, and I don't know if this has anything to do with it, um, I fell on the pavement of one of our grocery stores because, ironically, I was trying to help a woman from falling down. I saw her fall down, and then she pulled the move that my grandmother used to pull, like, oh, you reach out for them, they reach out for you, and then they pull you down really hard. And
Ouch!
I don't know. So my knees both landed on the pavement, and I felt a little something there, but I was walking. It was fine. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I was walking on this knee for about a month. So,
Your grandma used to pull you down?
yeah, like sometimes you try to catch her. She did this to everybody. Like if you were trying to steady her or you didn't want her to fall, she'd pull down really hard. And so that's what this lady did. And
Did she end up falling too?
no, no, I saved her.
And you took the fall.
I took the fall, Jeff.
Wow. What a sneaky bitch.
But anyway, the knee thing, it's really bumming me out. So I don't know.
I hope it's nothing serious. And I hope that it goes away pretty
Yeah,
soon.
me too. Me too. Um, but you were saying how you hate people who can cook?
I really do. I hate people who can do anything well that I can't. That I'm interested in doing.
Jeff.
It's
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like that exactly. Like lots of people are okay, you know what, Kat? Get away from the wire. Hold on a sec.
all right. Not lies. Is
Just
this
don't
one of your trolls, or is this for real? I can never tell with you. I can sometimes tell.
get out. Um, yeah,
Hello,
like some
quick
people
Vic.
they can do trigonometry really well, and I don't care because I'm not interested in trigonometry. But it depends. It depends. Like, you mean you couldn't even make grilled cheese?
I wouldn't want to try. I
Wow.
could probably make it. We made it growing up. It's you take a pan. Do you put the
Well,
butter in the pan or do you put it on the bread first? I don't see. I don't even remember.
there are a
But
few
I know
ways
it
to do
involves
it.
butter and some bread and some cheese and a frying pan.
Yeah, you could do it that way. Some people do it in olive oil. Some people
Ooh.
spread mayonnaise on the bread
Oh
first.
no, we didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes
Some.
we did it in the toaster oven. We'd put like
Mhm.
slices of bread with cheese on top and stick it in the toaster oven until the cheese browned.
Right. Yeah. Almost the same effect, kind of. But I think grilled cheese should be just a little greasy. But
Yeah.
the other day, I was thinking, wouldn't it be funny if somebody opened up a restaurant or a diner or whatever that was based on school lunches?
I'm su- I'm surprised there's not one. Let's see.
Yeah, I know. Because if you look up cafeteria pizza from the 80s, it's made in a very specific way. And
Ours was
then,
square and doughy.
yeah, well, where I'm from, all the best pizza's square anyway. But yeah, in school too. And so people they like pizza days, they like taco days, grilled cheese and tater tot days. Um, so I don't know, just basing it on that, school lunch cuisine. Yeah, that might be funny. Sandwich press. Oh yeah, yeah. You could get yourself a George Foreman grill.
We had one growing up. My brother had one, and I used to use it to cook chicken sandwiches, like chicken bread, whatever you make, you put on the sandwich, breast, chicken cutlets.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's an idea. And then there's some little devices. It's just for grilled cheese. So I don't know. But I
It
don't even know
seems
if
like
you
we
like
had
grilled
that
cheese.
thing where it's like some tongs, and you put it in the end of it, and you're supposed to cook it over a fire, like a campfire, and it makes grilled
You,
cheese.
oh, I thought that was like you put it over the stovetop. That's what I thought. I thought that's how you did it.
Yeah, it's like
But,
tongs and it has this little circle at the end that you put the
yeah.
sandwich in. Yeah, whatever that is. I think we had one of those, but I never used it.
Hmm. Well, I bet you could.
I
But
didn't do a lot of cooking growing up. I baked. I baked for
oh,
fun.
that's great.
We
That's
had the
great.
Betty Crocker books. I would go in there and pick out recipes and just randomly bake things. And then I didn't eat any of it, but I would leave it for my brothers and sisters, and they would eat it. I just did it for fun because it was something to do.
Now, my brother, he's a chef, and actually, I think I'm a better cook than he is, but he is an amazing baker. So actually, he should probably have a bake shop. But, and I have a whole bunch of books that are vintage, and I found the one. Do you remember when Jello molds were really in?
Yes, we had a bunch, like the copper ones that you hang on your wall when you're not using them.
Yeah, yeah. But I enjoyed going through that book. I remember reading it when I was little because it was my mom's, and they were very elaborate. These Jello molds. And then I found a bunch of documentaries on YouTube, like the the food we used to eat, when we were like little, and like beans and franks. Um, y- I don't
Is
know.
that pork and beans?
Well, from my understanding, it's like cut up hot dog, though I'm sure there's pork and beans.
Oh.
Um, yeah, goulash, which we never had. Um, I don't know. It's been fun. It's been fun watching that. You know, watching those, I should say. Yeah.
Hello, Nick. Nick Vogt, Mr. B. Hello, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Just hanging out, doing a panel, we're talking about the food we used to eat when we were little and school lunches. Because Helena said that um, wouldn't it be a good idea if somebody opened a restaurant built around school lunches?
Yeah, and they could be a little fancier, but you know, but I just thought that would be fun.
You, oh my God, just you, you're con- that's no, it doesn't happen. Your consciousness doesn't go anywhere. It just there's nothing for your consciousness to hang on to. So after death, there's no more consciousness. There's no third state. But I know a lot of people want to hope and believe, and I don't want to take that away from them. Fried
Sure,
peanut butter,
fried
like
peanut
in the
butter.
Fry Daddy or the Fry Mama. They even had a Fry Baby.
So, like, you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you put it in the fryer?
That's what I'm wondering.
Hmm.
Apparently, Mr. B knows too. Y'all put it in the deep fryer?
Bart, those are great with bananas. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, they had like a fish, a star, a ring. They had all kind of money. People would put them on their wall. They'd like hang in people's halls or in their kitchens. And when they needed
yeah,
one, they
some of
would
them were
use it as
really
mold.
pretty. They were actually like decorative. They were pretty,
I'll see
just
if
like
I
the
can
butt
find some.
cake ones. Oh yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, these
I can't wait. Wait.
beefsteaks.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, they had shape. They had a fish. They had a rooster. So they look good hanging on a wall when you weren't using them.
yeah.
Yep, that's exactly
And
that.
some bundt cake molds were like that too. Yeah.
That was
Cat,
fun.
shut
Like
up.
kitchens were very active in my family. Like there was a
Mine
lot
too.
of activity in there. While people were cooking, they had tables in the kitchens. People ate in the kitchens. It was like one of the big centers of the household activity.
Yeah. Now, every Christmas, my mother, well, she liked to bake too, but every Christmas she made like this large selection of Christmas cookies. And the way she did, now, well, some people call them chestnuts. We just call them peanut butter balls. And she wanted them to be perfectly round because usually what happens is while you're waiting for the chocolate to dry, the one side goes flat, right? So she would take these plastic picks and she'd put the cookie on there and so that it would dry completely round. uh, but then again, my parents, I don't know, they kind of had OCD.
Oh, did it affect you
But
growing
she
up?
liked every, well, did it affect me growing up?
Yeah. Like, did you
Uh,
grow up neurotic because of it?
oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
What is a Zenobot? Hey, Chink. YouTube wouldn't let me type your name.
Oh, mm. A Xenobot?
Yeah, what's the Xenobot? And hello, Lanny, our Marinadian. Um,
Well,
oh no, it's
anyway,
open panel, so you can come up if you want. It's all voluntary. This is at third place. Um, we're just chatting right now about random stuff. So
yeah.
shalom. Is it a holy day, or are you Jewish? Shalom to you too as well. I guess if I'm going to
Hmm.
be a Christian Satanism, that includes Judaism as well. So peace, my brother.
Yeah.
Um, okay, let's see. Yeah, the Xenobot thing. What the hell is that? Are you talking about they're coming to this channel, or it's like a technology thing that's on the horizon?
I don't know. It made me think of xenomorphs from Aliens, but
Self-healing robot, living self-healing robot, named after the African clawed frog, created by computers to perform some desired function, and built by combining different biological tissue together.
is there going to be an invasion that I don't know about?
I don't know whether xenobots are robots, organisms, or something else entirely. There's a debate among scientists. They sound cool. Hey, Plasma, IG,
Hmm.
what tribe? What tribe I am now? I have so many. I'm gonna need like a keychain or something to keep up. What are you, Mr. B? You're usually not a doomer. What are you talking about?
It's all going to hell. Gee whiz. Well, in that case, I don't have
Oh,
to worry about my
is
knee.
this a brand new thing? Like it just happened? From dead frog embryos, were
Mm,
able to adapt to the. Oh, and this sounds cool. Actually, you find it scary so far? I'm like, finally, something interesting seems like it might happen. It's been the same old thing for thousands and thousands of years, the same patterns. Now we might see, like forget aliens. We have some new life form here on Earth that's randomly generating itself.
well, I'm more afraid of robots. So, well,
And xenobots are part biological. They're built from living material, like carbon based. I
hmm.
don't know, Mr. B. Let me ask you this question, so this will help me assess the situation. Is this
Zombie
stuff that
ants.
you saw on YouTube? Is this all from watching YouTube? Well, I wish they'd grow some better food.
Mm, what do you want?
I don't know, something other than this chlorine chicken that they put in everything. Oh,
Yeah,
it's built
chicken's
from
hard
dead.
though.
Oh, right, the dead embryos, frog
Ah,
cells.
right, right, right.
Oh, okay. All right. And it still has you scared?
You don't want the Borg coming after us, that's for sure.
I know that's from Star Trek,
Hmm.
but I have to say I'm at a disadvantage not having watched Star Trek or being a Trekkie.
Well,
This is what it's like to feel stupid, dumb,
oh,
unknowledgeable.
no, you know how I like movie trivia? You want to know one of them, one of the quizzes I've totally flunked? And I watch a lot of science fiction. So, but they showed you a pic, they would show you an image of a spaceship, and then you had to name the ship and the show it was from. As it turns out, I'm not really very good at that. I only got like three, but I don't know. Most of the shows I don't notice the ship that was like, the Enterprise, um, the ship from Red Dwarf, the ship from um, Mystery Science Theater 3000, but I couldn't name the other ones.
I wouldn't know any of those except for the Enterprise. That's Star Trek, right? Hey, Frank.
Yeah, yeah.
Pat, hello. Um, and then I think that's the only ship I know. And then there's the TARDIS. And I couldn't even tell you what the ship in 2001 was called,
No, I
and
don't know.
that's my favorite sci-fi movie.
Yeah, yeah.
What was it called? The
Now,
Odyssey.
2001: A Space Odyssey. Yeah. Um, but the ones in Red Dwarf and somebody in chat can correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like a bone, like a human bone, and so that's real easy to. Or I might be mixing it up with Mystery Science Theater, but
That
those
sounds
were
like they would
easy.
have a bone. No, I haven't, Pat. That's a movie. Did you see Ad Astra?
Uh, I don't think so, not yet.
Brad
What
Pitt
was it?
as an astronaut. Okay. Well, I might check it out. I'm, I'm still looking for something to watch. Okay.
Yeah. See right there, Mr. B said the Nostromo from Alien. Yeah, I did. I knew the name, but I
That's
didn't
from
recognize the
Joseph
ship.
Conrad.
Yeah.
Hello, Leah.
Yeah. Well, going back to the cookie thing, she had all these cookies, and for about a month and a half, we got to eat them for breakfast. That was fun.
Oh, cookies for breakfast. And that then they had
Yeah.
that cookie. Was it Cookie Crunch? Cookie Crisp?
They
They had
did. We
little
never bought that
cereal
though.
that was made little tiny cookies.
We never bought that.
I think it was Cookie
Um,
Crisp. And they had
I think,
a little magician with a wand was their logo.
yeah. Now, every once in a while, you know, I'll want a bowl of unhealthy cereal, but my favorite is Cinnamon Toast Crunch and the Reese's one. Like the Reese's one. It's peanut butter and chocolate. But that's every once in a while, and I feel bad because if you buy a box, I know I'm not going to finish it. You know, that's the way that is.
You can have a box in your house and not finish it.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah, because the craving wears off. It's usually a one or two time thing, and I feel bad about that, but I don't know what to do.
hey Zitz.
Since, yeah, so I don't know, but so what was it like growing up in? Were you in Cajun country or?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
right in the middle of it.
Well, one time when Anthony Bourdain had his show, he did an episode on Cajun County
Oh yeah, yeah.
country.
That's where I grew up.
Really?
Yeah, that's we did. That's the Mardi Gras we did growing up. Was the Cajun Mardi Gras. I remember watching
Okay.
that episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that. And what was that thing they were doing with the masks? They put I think it was mostly men. They put the masks on
Hey,
and they
Moose, what's up? You talking about the Mardi Gras, like the career, the ride, where they get on the horseback and they go from house to house.
yeah, though I saw some guys on motorbikes, I swear. I could
Oh,
be getting
it's
that
supposed to be
wrong.
horses, but each crew, each Mardi Gras, sometimes tweaks it and modifies it. And there's a big controversy now because traditionally it was not open to women; it was strictly males could participate. And there's some traditional crews that still keep it that way. And then some of the newer crews are opening up to female Mardi Gras. So now there's this tension between is your Mardi Gras going to let in women now, or is it going to be one of the ones that stay traditional and say only male? Because there's a lot of
Right.
pressure from the modern world to make everything
Yeah.
equal.
What's the origin? Is there some Catholicism in there or
Yeah, and it goes all the way back to the Middle Ages actually, and they had where the day of the year where the peasants would go and beg for the rich people. They'd beg and they'd
Mhm.
play tricks on them, and they'd go door to door and they'd beg for coins. They'd put their hand out, and then they would dance or tell jokes or do little performances or play tricks for the
Right.
coin. And that
Hmm.
goes back to the Middle Ages, and the big hats that we wear are related to the French. You know how the French women have the big hats with the ribbons coming off of. So all of that can be traced to the Middle Ages.
Right. Okay. Well, I did enjoy that episode. And then he did an episode, it was just mainly the French Quarter, but um
Stop and be. Moose, what's up? How's it going? What is Voyager? Oh, that's a Star Trek, right? Oh, right, because Star
yeah,
Trek had
yeah.
different ships. They had Enterprise
Hmm.
and Voyager. Is that the only ones?
Yeah, Voyager came after the Next Generation.
Was Next
Yeah.
Generation also on the Enterprise, or did it have its own ship?
Oh, well, it was one of the enterprise. They had more than one. They just had different numbers.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
UT. So the Enterprise wasn't just one ship.
No, 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 they had a
Oh
whole
my
fleet.
God, I.
They had a whole fleet. Yeah. So it was a different ship than
So it was
the
a
first
different
one.
Enterprise, Enterprise D. I like the way that's
Usually,
shaped when it's spelled out. Sorry about that. That was a bad joke. Go ahead.
yeah.
Hello. Proceed.
No,
Proceed.
nothing, nothing. No, no, they had a fleet of of the ships that all looked the same. They all had a different number, and yeah, that's it. And then they, when they did, oh, you know what? I got that mixed up. I'm sorry. Somebody mentioned Voyager. I'm sorry. I was thinking the other one, Deep Space Nine, and
Did-
that was on a space station, and that was
oh,
more like a wheel. But yeah, Voyager, yeah, they had the standard Starfleet ship. Yeah. Oh, so I want a Borg ship, not a real Borg cube. Yeah, oh yeah, they look like cubes.
oh. Can you see this Panoverse getting assimilated?
Oh.
I think we're Borg proof. Like not even the Borg could tie all of this together. Could
No,
find a
what they
way.
would do is they would just keep saying, "You will be assimilated," and they'd beat us up because what they wear, it makes them stronger. Yeah, so yeah, I think they could take, yeah, I think they could take most people.
I ain't scared of no Borg.
I ain't, as- ah, I ain't afraid of no Borg. But, oh, I ate at that restaurant, Andre's, in the French Quarter. You've probably been there.
I might have
I
if
think
it's
I've
the
been,
one I'm thinking of.
yeah, I think I got the name right, but, oh
Is it
yeah, it
on
was a
Jackson
beautiful,
Square?
no, no.
Oh.
I can't remember what street it was on. Yeah.
We have somebody in the back, but I need to see you on camera first to make sure you are you. Okay, well, let's everyone welcome the latest, trying to be greatest, Mr. Dr. Chink. Ooh, loud. Welcome. Don't worry about it. Don't they just shoot it out into space? I just assumed they didn't have to worry about stuff like that. Or they had little toilets that cleaned everything automatically.
Jeff, you need to wipe. Come on.
Not on a spaceship.
Why
Like
not?
don't they I don't I'm just assuming like don't they have technology where you wouldn't need something as primitive
No,
as toilet paper?
do you really want to go to the bathroom, pull your pants up without having wiped? I
Well,
mean,
no,
that's
it
kind of gross.
cleans. The thing
Oh, I
cleans.
see. So
It's
you're saying like,
self-cleaning.
okay, so it would be like a built-in bidet?
Something like
Like it,
that. Yeah.
okay, okay.
No, it's not just leaving you to your own. To your own. You I mean it takes care of you. You're gonna probably walk out nicer than if you had tried to use paper on your own.
Maybe. But I always wondered, like, when astronauts are in zero gravity, what happens if what happens if you throw up? The vomit would float, right? Yeah,
Um I'm sure it's got to have happened by now.
I'm
I
sure
feel
it
like the
has.
answer is out there. Wait, what? Sunglasses with antlers. I need some sunglasses too. Where? Hello, Kane. So drink.
Ch-
Wait, what? Yes, I did. That is good to know. Thank you. What's up,
Jeff,
Chink?
Jeff, Jeff, you just need some Ray-Bans.
I know what those are. I know it's a brand of shades.
Mm-hmm.
These are the voyages of our ship, flying through space on that astro trip, boldly going where no one has gone before.
He said it's going to float in little balls, and Brown's boy is saying, how is it even possible to throw up? Oh, there's no thing of space either. None of it. So they're just up there. How are they
Oh,
faking the vomit
well,
balls then if there's no space?
vomit balls.
Hey, Jax. All right, Chink, what's up? Let's hear from
It's
you.
good. What are y'all talking about? I tuned in for the past couple of minutes. You guys are talking about space, the final frontier, some movie references, what it must like to be an astronaut,
Well, we didn't talk about
Cookies.
that one, but
cookies,
we're
space
trying to
cookies.
name all the famous ships,
Yeah,
sci-fi ships. Is how it
yeah,
started.
that's hard. Oh, also, I'll run this by you, Doctor. What do you think of a diner that is based on cafeteria food?
What do I think of a diner that is based off of a cafeteria?
No,
Specifically, school lunches. Would you eat?
school
Would you eat
lunches. I
at
should have said,
one?
yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. I used to be a school administrator a couple
No
years
way.
back. I was a vice principal, and it was during the Obama era when Michelle Obama had instituted like a healthy school diet, which included fruits and vegetables and shit. But like when that shit like trickled down to the state level and to the district, they were implementing vegetables and fruits. None of the kids were eating that shit.
Yeah, okay. Before that, what were they eating? I mean,
Oh
before the
well,
fruits and vegetables.
it would depend on the school, really, but I've seen school cafeteria like cooking those square pizzas, chicken nuggets, sometimes noodles here, so um I don't know. I think when it comes to schools and free and reduced lunch to serve like low economic demographics and stuff, it's pretty much like a shot in the dark with what they serve on the menu. But I think if they made the meals a little bit more enticing, like a little bit
Yeah.
more delicious instead of nutritious per se, kids will gobble that stuff up.
Yeah, what were they trying to serve them, like kale salad and stuff like that? Or
Yeah, they were serving like vegetable salads during the Obama era, like carrots and peas.
oh,
But I,
I
I'd
didn't
say
know
I'd
this.
say like if I were a kid going to school, I'd rather have my folks pack me a home lunch.
But
yeah,
carrots
yeah.
and peas are good. I mean,
Yeah, they
that's
are.
nutritious to serve.
It's an acquired taste
And
though. Like kids.
we had carrots and peas. It was the little canned peas, the little green
Ah,
canned peas, but we did have peas.
yeah, yeah. I,
Now,
I
yeah.
I guess it would also depend on like the way that the taste buds develop for the kids. Like vegetables are kind of like an acquired taste and like how they're usually prepared.
Yeah. Now, when I did bag my lunch, they were pretty darn good. I a lot of times I'd have something like prosciutto with provolone sandwich. And well, you know what that means. It means my lunch required special refrigeration.
Yeah.
So
Provolone with prosciutto. Oh, that sounds really bougie.
bougie?
But I've
Well,
seen
she
I've
went
seen
No.
a
to private
qualitative
school.
difference between the quality of lunches and breakfast served at like public schools versus private schools. Like they're worlds apart.
I would not know.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Um, can you tell us about your little Martian kitty there?
Oh,
Your little
this
plushie?
little cat. Yeah, this. I'm from a server called Aliens Anonymous. It's like an offshoot of Anonymous, but that's our that's our mascot. So wherever I go, he goes.
Anonymous,
Oh, okay.
the radical organization.
I plead the fifth.
Well, I, how is it you're not anonymous though? So I hope that
No,
Aliens Anonymous
yeah, I mean it's
doesn't.
it's an evolving kind of
I mean, you're anonymous in
philosophy
the
here.
sense we don't know who you are. You're just a face,
Yeah,
but you are a face.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there have been some well-known personalities that have repped that banner, and they choose to show their face. I mean, like here's the thing, like I think we were talking about this a couple episodes ago, but it's one thing to use your name and your face out there, like online, and I feel like when I've used my name and my face and my credentials, like nobody can come at me trying to dox me and stuff because they essentially dox myself. So I think to come on camera, it's a whole other level entirely.
Hmm.
It makes it harder to hide or to fake. If you do
Yeah,
it consistently enough, it makes it harder to pretend to be anything other than
yeah,
what you present
yeah.
on here.
I mean, we're using our real face and name out there, Jeff. I mean, might as well be authentic. So I am who I am. You are who you are. There's no
But
false
I still
pretenses.
don't know. I haven't. I'm not. It's like I said with you. It's going to take some time because you could go either way. You're like a Schrodinger's troll.
Ah, Schrodinger's cat, both alive and dead
Because
at
we
the
have a
same
lot of
time.
people that come here and start out as trolls, and then they kind of become more three dimensional as they hang out here. We get to see more of the human
Yeah,
side of them.
the realness.
So,
Yeah, so yeah, Schrodinger's cat, you're collapsing the wave function by
except
engaging in
it hasn't collapsed yet. So I guess that's what
hasn't
makes it.
collapsed. Okay.
It's still in the black box.
So it's both a particle and a wave at the same time. But that's
Yeah.
that's the mystique of being mysterious and kind of
Yeah.
like a.
You're like genuine and a troll at the same time, a mysterious troll.
I mean, with you, brother Jeff, I'm being authentic, but I guess it depends on who I'm engaging with, right? So it's like I believe in like reflecting whatever energy is coming my way as a mirror, right?
Oh Lord. Okay. Because I never
Yeah.
know what energy I'm putting out. I don't. I don't. We talk about a lot on here actually. This energy and vibes thing that some people navigate by, but others of us don't really know
Mm,
what people are
mm.
talking about when they're using it. And so if people go off of energy, I'm not ever conscious of what I'm putting out on my end because I don't use those channels.
Yeah.
Hello, UT.
Hey, what's up? I hope everybody's doing good.
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Hey.
Yes, always, Elena.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh,
have it's a beautiful middle of the week, isn't it? And again, good to
yeah.
see everybody.
Do not
Likewise,
I've,
agree.
I've,
bro. What could make
What
it
have you been
better?
up
You
to?
say it's a beautiful week. What could make it better for you, brother?
well, it's a train on the tracks. Keep on moving. That's all I ever want. I can't predict what's going to happen in the next 15 minutes, let alone tomorrow.
That's the
Um,
spirit.
Keep
I've
choo-choo.
got plans for the weekend, but you know how plans go.
Yeah. Yep. They go sideways sometimes.
It's the cat. It's the experiment with the cat in the box. And what is there? There's like a
Yeah.
gun or something that could kill it if the electron
No, no.
does one thing, but you don't know until you actually look in the box and take the measurement if the cat is dead or alive. So before you look in the box, it's in a superimposed state,
Superposition. Yeah.
superposition state where it's both alive and dead until you actually
Yeah.
open the box and collapse the wave function and see what state the cat is actually in.
I thought it was a rock of radium that you put inside the box with the cat. I don't remember a gun.
It could be something like that.
Oh,
Oh,
and from the
Browns, that would
cat's
be cool. Yeah, if your
perspective,
phone lets you. I hope it
from the
does.
cat's perspective, like, it's all dependent on the observer, so it's relative. And, there's this theory called quantum immortality. So it being from a relative perspective, the radium in the box with the cat never really dies, but there's branches that split off into different realities or whatever. Quantum immortality, that's a trip, Jeff, if you haven't heard about it already.
I think there's also like another option, and that is like, hey, if I give you a box and tell you there's a cat in the box, and I ask you the question, is the cat alive or is the cat dead? Right? Um, you won't know until you witness for yourself. You can just take a guess. Well, is there noise coming from the box? Is there not noise? You do have these perceptions
Mm.
before you actually go and get your proof. And then okay, there's no noise, but then you open the box and there's no cat in there.
Mm. Mm.
Because
That
why
would be
would
trippy.
somebody actually do that to a cat just to prove a point for a scientific perspective? It's like
Well, it
I
was
just
the cat part was a thought experiment. But like
Yeah.
they have ways of doing it as actual science experiment, like the double slit thing. So they don't actually experiment on the cats. That was just to conceptualize the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it gets you to care about the cat, to
Mm.
care about finding the proof.
Because nobody wants the cat to die. Or maybe some people do. There's some people that hate cats.
Yeah, they're all
Well, that
serial
would
killers.
I hope they
They
die.
are all
Try.
serial killers.
They steal your breath when you're sleeping at night. They put their face really close and they suck your breath out, like that one movie.
But at least they
Yeah, I
don't
know. I
sting
saw
like
Cat's
dogs
Eye.
do when they do the same thing.
I saw Cat's Eye. Trust me.
Joe Cool is saying right here in the side chat, the cat exists in all states until the wave function collapses
Right.
upon
Yes.
observation.
Yes.
Hell yeah, Joe.
That's superposition.
You know your shit. But then again, guys, I always wonder, like, the fundamental the quintessential question of science is the hard problem of consciousness. What is it exactly that does the observation?
We don't know.
What is it that does the observation?
We don't know.
Yeah.
What does the observation?
Yeah. Okay, so it's relative, right? From your perspective, untrackable, when you ask that question, what is it that does the observation from your perspective? What exactly is that?
What is your consciousness? What is it that's doing the
Mm-hmm.
Well,
awareness and observing and perceiving?
I've heard about stuff like this before, where it's like some people that do like routine driving. Um, yeah, you could ask them about specific moments in their day, and they can remember the conversation or the work that they had done and how they done it. But when they
Yeah.
have this routine travel to work, they couldn't answer not one question about that routine 30-minute drive because they felt so routine and so comfortable that just keep it between the lines. But I'm talking in my own head, I'm singing the songs on the radio, I'm thinking about the bills I gotta pay, I'm thinking about my schedule, and how am I going to spend my time off, and you
Mm.
just, your head is all jumbled up. You couldn't ask them. It's like, how many people passed you, how many red cars did you see, or something like that, and them actually give a shit because they shut themselves off. So when it comes to the perspective, it's like, well, you've drawn my attention to this box, so I'm going to pay attention to it. This is not the 30-minute drive home, right? And hopefully, if I'm being asked the question of what's in the box, I might at least have a connection to other people. So it's like, hey, I was asked this question. Will you at least watch me open the box?
Uh-huh.
Because I made my prediction. I'm not asking you about yours, but when I find whatever I find, live cat, dead cat, no cat, stuffed animal, watermelon, at least I wasn't alone in seeing it. And then, it's kind of like a hole in one. You can go run tell the whole world that you got a hole in one. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, unless you had a buddy with you. But then again, that's your buddy. Well, who
Yeah.
trusts your buddy? Credibility plays into psychology very much.
Who
Untrackable.
in the Panoverse would you trust to look in the box with you the most?
In the panel verse?
Yeah. And who would you trust the least?
Well, honestly, in that aspect, I wouldn't even call it about trust. I would just go to somebody
Well,
that
like for
either
credibility, like
either
whose
has the
word would.
capability of like they don't just go live, but they have the capability of clipping, they have the capability of zooming in, they have the capability of sharing, they have a wide enough audience. And oh god, I've met so many people that let me up so freely. um if you were live and I had that box right in front of me, I would do it right here.
Mm. Hey,
and I, would-
untrackable.
and I wouldn't feel bad about all the places that I didn't do it. I just know that this is a very capable channel.
Oh.
Did you ever see Seven?
Yes.
With Kevin Spacey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember Brad Pitt? What's in the box? You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh God. But you kept saying, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" And I don't know. Then suddenly I
Is that a
started thinking
cat in
about
that
that.
box?
No,
you
it's
know
not
I,
a cat in the box.
that is an awesome movie. And the whole what's in the
Yeah.
box thing, um I oh boy, oh boy.
Mm. And I'll tell you what. A boy brought me to that movie on our first date. It was so romantic. It was so romantic, you guys.
Are you being serious?
Well, I'm joking a little, but
Oh, but it
yeah.
was. Oh.
but I enjoyed the movie, so whatever. But no, saying Seven is romantic is, I don't know, it's funny to me. I don't know.
No, I think
It
it's
is
awesome.
funny.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm so down today.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know you were down. What's going on?
oh, the knee thing, Jeff.
Oh, right.
My knee hurts untrackable.
Wait, you have knees?
I have knees, yeah.
Oh,
I
boxing.
Oh,
wish I didn't
boxing.
right now. I wish I did. No, that's not true. No. I was telling Jeff, yeah, so there's some pain. So it's, I'm a little more sullen. There's not as much energy. But,
Yeah, I got.
Oh, you seem fine to me.
oh, that's
You
good.
seem the
Good.
same.
Good.
I'd forgotten all about it. That's
Is
how
Thanks,
it
good you
Jeff.
seem.
some sort of just like chronic thing, or is it a major thing, or did you actually injure
Mm-mm.
yourself? Or
No, I told Jeff, I woke up about 4 days ago and my one knee was swollen and I don't know why. So I don't know. I have an appointment, so they'll tell me, I guess.
and you
Is
don't
not
work
Hopefully.
against like even a minor incident, like a slippage or anything, like the day before or anything like that.
well, a month before, I fell hard on pavement and my knee did get nicked, but that was a month ago. So either passages were injured or an inflammation began. I'm not really sure. But it's true, I did fall on that knee. But that was a month ago and I was walking on my knee fine. So I don't know what that means.
Well,
Helena, I noticed your
Yeah,
name, Helena Blavatsky. Isn't she a famous theosophist
occultist.
or something? Occultist,
She
right?
just she discovered theosophy. She founded it.
Now, isn't there an esoteric kind of ability? I mean, aside from, the main tenet of theosophy, like where all major religions originate from a single source, if you're a practitioner, are you able to channel that latent ability or power that theosophy like claims to promote to heal like your not
Well,
only your spirit, your body?
first off, uh, that wasn't mm, a lot about that religion. Second, I don't practice. I just read. I just like to read about this shit. Um, thirdly, that kind of spiritual energy you're talking about, it won't let you heal your body.
Hmm.
The best it can do is make you feel positive, and sometimes when you feel positive, you feel better. But I mean, what do you think you could break your leg and then harvest that energy and then heal the leg? No, you can't. I've seen people try to do things like that, but yeah, unfortunately. So we're left with the pharmaceutical company and herbals, which is a shame.
Yeah, growing old sucks. Like your body starts falling apart, you're not healing as
How
fast as you
old are
used to.
you? Because you look like maybe in your 40s.
Oh, I got to keep that a mystery, Jeff. There's people here that want to come
Well,
at
not if
me.
you're being authentic.
Hmm. Yeah,
See, see, what did I say? See, that's that Schrodinger's troll I'm talking about. Because he could go either way.
there
Sometimes
Well,
is
he's
no box.
mysterious, sometimes he's authentic and genuine.
There is no box. There is no spoon, as Neo was learning from that kid, right? But yeah, I come from the same generation, Generation X, the forgotten
So
generation, the
40s,
best
40,
generation,
40-ish, 40 what?
till everybody got caught up in participation trophies and feelings and shit. Yeah, Generation X. So
Yeah, that
we're about
was our kids. That was our generation raising those kids. So we, like, y'all did something somewhere along the way.
mm. Fair point. Fair point. But how old do I feel? Some days I feel like some days I feel young. Other days I feel like a like an old man.
How old does your driver's license say you feel if you were to take it out and look at it?
How old my driver's license is? Wow, you don't let up, huh, Brother Jeff?
Like it's,
All things in good time, you know, like this relationship that I'm building with you and your audience and stuff. Like, what, you know,
so if you're going to tell us later, why not tell us now? That's such
mm,
a low risk
that
thing to
buildup.
build a relationship with.
Yeah, it's all about that buildup. I got to keep it like I got to keep it mysterious and ambiguous. But what matters is like how old do I sound? Because you know I've met people that are in their 40s and 50s, and they have the mentality of like a teenager. I've met people in their 20s that
You
spit
meet
that
one
wisdom.
now.
It's like they're an old sage, right?
Yeah, somebody in the chat said Generation X was a waste of time.
That's
It's
Nice.
thinking
like,
a troll. That's just not us.
okay,
Try to troll.
we're the last generation that was cool, that will
Yeah,
be cool, and may be
yeah.
cool for a very fucking long time.
We're
I,
forgotten
I'm
though.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad that I'm so glad that we made wasting time popular again. You know what I mean?
Oh, we sure
Mhm.
did, right? It's the Panelverse pretty much runs off of our ethos.
You're just mad because you don't get to have the fun that we had because um,
Yeah.
there would be no video games without us
True, true.
because our
Stories.
parents wanted us to sit down and shut up. But
Yep.
again, there
Oh,
would be no BMX competitions. There would be no Tony Hawk. There would be no X Games. There would be none of this wild shit where we're like, hey, that's a cool video game, but now I need to go outside and see what it is for real. And then
right.
you get this crazy shit out of it where it's like, are you not entertained? These people risk their bodies to do a flip on a skateboard or to do a triple backflip on a dirt bike. They are doing evil Knievel type shit
Yep.
because those were the good parents. The parents that
Yeah.
gave you a device and was like, sit down, shut up, don't cause me any problems. Hey, give a kid a bike. I'd rather have that type of problem because they just did Magellan across the goddamn city to get to the mall where they can go look at all the
Yeah.
shit they can't buy.
Yeah. So my perspective on it, it's like, when we were growing up, wasn't the music so fucking cool?
We had the best, but they're not going to get better. I'm feel sorry for them, but there's
Yeah.
no.
Well, and
We
all
had
those
the peak
genres,
of music.
yeah, all those genres that came out at the same time,
Yep.
and they don't invent new genres anymore. It doesn't
No,
seem like it anyway.
Yep.
no,
Yep.
they
Yeah,
barely
you had
make music
So,
for
grunge.
themselves.
You had Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Nirvana. We even had
oh no,
Jinko pants. I saw the other day at the mall these kids wearing Jinko pants. I'm like, whoa! You guys used
no.
to have
What I
those
meant,
too, huh?
what I meant is like in our, youth, there was like they made up hip hop, they made up rap, they made up techno, they made up shoegazer, they made up grunge. Yeah.
Oh my God, Zance! I was listening to that yesterday. I'm
Pink
not
Floyd,
kidding.
hell yeah! Dark Side of the Moon.
That's like the last great
Mm-hmm.
classic rock album
Yeah.
I
before
think
it
it's I
shifted
think it's
into
funny.
the 80s.
I think it's funny about music too because there's the marketability of it because when you're going through a grocery store and they have a soundtrack, chances
Mhm.
are it's pop music and there's no dirty words. It's got a smooth beat, but they are 100% talking about having sex.
Mm.
And then
Food and
you've
sex.
got your young child like dancing and singing along to the soundtrack in the grocery store because it's also on the radio. Now, because something it has a rough beat to it, like some death metal or something, you can do all that straight edge stuff that's so hard. You don't have to say a single bad word, but hey, it's not marketable. It doesn't make people dance. It makes people angry. And some of those songs are true art, and
Yes,
they
it
actually tell
does.
the truth. And it's like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine. I mean, just look at Woodstock when they had Woodstock, like in the fucking 90s. The whole motherfucker burnt down, and that's like symbolic of like just the spirit of our generation.
Yeah, how many names did they give us? It was like Latchkey Kids, the MTV generation.
We
Yeah, the
were a
Lost
Was
before that.
were the
Generation,
Oh yeah, right,
Forgotten
right.
Generation. Yeah.
What generation?
Hmm?
Yeah, say that
Which one?
again.
Generation X. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And look, you had fucking Married with Children. The misogyny on that show was so awesome. They can't put a show out like that these days. Getting canceled for like sexism and all that stuff. But Married with Children was the best.
Yeah, I don't know. No, actually, the X-Files was the best.
Oh yeah, that was a
Well,
great
I'll
show.
tell you what. I'll tell you what about Married with Children. They never came back with a reboot or a sequel or anything that said Divorced with Children. That means they had a solid thing going.
Well
Yeah,
said,
well,
bro. Hell yeah. You, sir, are a
Hello,
man of
Moose.
culture.
What's up?
Well, I'm just saying they brought Roseanne back, but apparently Roseanne's dead.
no,
Wait,
man,
what?
she has her own podcast. Did you ever see it?
Oh no, I love Roseanne. I'm just saying they did a reboot, but they killed the matriarch or the whatever the
Oh, they
matriarch.
did a reboot without her?
Yeah,
Wait,
they
what?
did.
No, she got in trouble. She got in trouble
Oh,
because
she got
something about Trump.
canceled. She started in the reboot. She got canceled, and so I
Yeah,
think they had
that
to
and that
write her
was
out
her
a
show,
lot.
by the way. She created that show, and she said something positive about Trump, I think.
Yeah.
And then after that, like all the excitement, they're like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" Now, what pisses me off is the girl who played her daughter Darlene. She was pro kicking her off the show, and I just thought that was really shitty, you know?
Sarah Gilbert.
You know what I
Yeah.
think is shitty is how in 2025, if you decide to vote for somebody, it automatically means that people will cut ties with you. They'll just be like an asshole to you for no reason. Doesn't even matter if you have a valid or not reason for who you're choosing. It's just people are just assholes now. When I was growing
Hmm.
up, we could all sit at the table and we could all discuss politics, and people would like talk shit to each other, but it wouldn't. The discussion would be there, and it would be a discussion. It wouldn't be like people severing ties and drawing lines in the sand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, people are like political parties are like football teams now. Even worse.
But
Yeah,
people
and
don't
it's
cut ties
stupid.
over football team. At least I don't think they do. Maybe they do.
I don't
Some
know.
of
I've seen
them
some pretty
do.
crazy shit, but yeah, now they do. They cut ties, and it's ridiculous because when I was growing up, everybody in my family didn't have the same political affiliation, and we didn't disown anybody because of it.
No, Archie and Meathead and Sally Struthers all lived under the same roof.
Yeah, right.
Oh shit, that reminds me. We also had Beavis and Butthead. Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude.
Love
Oh
Love
no,
that.
no. You just reminded
the
me.
true Gen Xers.
Liquid television. Do you remember
Yeah.
liquid? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
That's
I'm
where
trying to
Beavis
see.
and Butthead got their start.
if you've been paying attention, maybe you guys have seen Robot Chicken.
I've heard
Mm-hmm.
of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in my opinion, there would be no Robot Chicken without Liquid Television.
Mm.
Oh,
Now,
yeah,
Robot
probably not.
Chicken is all from like a single production, as far as I know. Whereas Liquid Television was like each clip was a different artist that
Yeah.
MTV collected.
Bro, I remember that. Remember Aeon Flux?
I was about to say Eon Flux came out of that too. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that one was weird. It was weird.
I love that's the one that sucked me in. That's the reason I watched Liquid Television was for Eon Flux, and that
Neon
was back
Flux.
when it was no dialogue, and they would end it. They'd show like a few minutes, and then they'd end it, and you have to watch next week for the next
Well,
one.
you know what? In the beginning, before she had her own show, they would always it would always end with her dying. Did you notice that? And then by the next episode, she was back again, and I'm not sure what that meant entirely, but sometimes she would die at the end of an episode, and then she'd come back the next.
Yep, yep.
I don't know. I don't know if they're.
Mary in the side chat, she's saying, "Don't forget Jackass." We had bum fights. We had Faces of Death. We had Kenny versus Spenny. All that shit. All that good shit.
And then we would go outside.
You know what?
That's right.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah.
I think that it's not only like the parents' fault why people didn't go outside. It's also the police fault, because I would go skateboarding and I would skateboard in a parking lot where there's nobody around, and I might be smoking a joint or something, minding my own damn business, and the cops would come and they'd harass us. And like, I mean, think about it. At your house, you have your privacy, you have the protection of your own home. No, if you're drinking and smoking at your house, nobody's gonna come and take you to jail. Nobody's gonna bother you or anything like that. But when you're out in public or whatever, they can do whatever they want. And so, like, as a child or a teenager or a young adult, like, the more like times you get interrupted when you're having a good time and you're just doing your thing, I think the less apt you are to continue going out there and doing it, unless you're like me and just like fuck them all, like I'm just gonna keep getting in trouble kind of thing.
Do you think it had anything to do with the joint that was in your hand? Or would he
Oh,
have bothered
I
you
mean, it was
anyway?
that, and then maybe we were like grinding on the curbs, or like grinding on a pole or something.
Hmm.
But like none of that actually led to any like damage that or anything like that. People.
I know, but the cops don't know that when they see it happening.
But I see it this way too. And it's like I'm cool with everything. I see a crime as something that you actually do unjustified against another person or property to like actually destroy it. But, you know, if you're gonna go have fun and your intention is not to damage anything and you're just gonna slide a piece of wood across a piece of concrete, it's like what is the damage going to be done? It's like, and my intention was to have fun. So it's like, well, it, you will deal with the law in these situations. However, you can always just show up to court and tell the judge, I was having fun and I didn't break anything. And you might have a shot, but they will never stop. They
Fight the
will never
law.
stop calling the cops on people that are just having fun and not fucking anything up. You know what I mean? They will always do it.
I don't know if I mean if you're skating on shit, an observer's gonna see that as you fucking stuff up. And if you're walking around with smoking joints in broad daylight, an observer's gonna see that as
All right, but now put it into like actual perspective here, Jeff. I chose a parking lot that was big enough for probably 500 cars. I chose a spot in that parking lot where nobody is around me at all. At all. You couldn't smell the joint. You literally would need to drive up to me to know what I'm doing. I literally was that respectful that I would go out of my way to leave everybody alone and just find a nice quiet spot to go skateboard, maybe play some music, hang out with my buddies. Nobody was doing any harm to anyone. Nobody was doing harm to themselves. Nobody was being belligerent, or you know what I mean? Like how could that possibly award a free trip of harassment. I'm not even against the police entirely. I'm just saying I was in the situation where I felt harassed constantly.
Was this on private property?
No.
Oh,
I mean, it was a fucking parking lot for the public transportation.
so it was a public parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I guess it depends on what your local laws are. I know even in Seattle, when they legalized weed, they made it illegal to do it in public. So if you got you could buy weed, but if you got caught walking around smoking it, they could get you in trouble.
But then the same thing happens where they allow you to have a cannabis cup or they allow you to have this big cannabis festival, and then they have police at these cannabis festivals and they let you smoke at these festivals.
Uh-huh.
Yet the law says that you're not allowed to.
I know.
So
Isn't
that
that cool that the cops are even willing to help people
no,
skirt the
it's
law?
not cool. It's asinine that we have laws that you're breaking while also saying that someone else needs to follow those laws, yet nobody's getting hurt. So why does it matter that why are those laws even on the books?
A lot of
Why?
them are not anymore. And I saw something about like at the federal level, they might tackle marijuana.
You know what my problem is there's what's written down and called law, and that's based on whatever the fuck someone says. And then there's like morality and ethics. And I think if there was more morality and ethics put into the law, I would agree with the law and I wouldn't like be so like fuck that shit. But there's like a disconnect here. Like when nobody's getting hurt and nobody is causing damage to anyone, I like it's hard for me to say just because you wear a uniform or your job is to protect the public that you are now allowed to just harass people. Like if I came up to you as a regular person and I just like made it my point to bother you, like
But
that would be harassment.
were they harassing you or were they called out there? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like did like somebody call them and say, "Hey, there's this kid," and then they came in response to a call?
I mean that's something that I never had the knowledge of. Like they would just pull up and they would be like, "What are you guys doing here? Empty your pockets. Sit on the curb. Let me be a dick to you for
Did
30
they
minutes."
do anything to you? Like did they take put you in the car or take you in?
Oh, bro, I'm not stupid enough to get that trouble. I talk my way out of a fucking
Damn.
plastic bag. But my point is somebody else comes and ruins your fucking day. That is more harm than me sitting in an empty parking lot with nobody around me. It's like me sitting in the fucking forest smoking a joint and the fucking Sasquatch comes out and gets pissed off. Like, bro, how is there something wrong with that? Is my question. How is there something wrong with it? I'm not asking is it legal. I'm asking how is there something wrong
If
with it?
I saw you in a public parking lot by yourself, off in the distance, smoking weed and play with this, I probably would not think any like I definitely wouldn't call someone, and I probably wouldn't even think anything in my head if I saw it. I'd be like, "Oh, okay, he's doing that." But I can also see where a different observer that's not me would think something completely different. So you're kind of in a gray area where it's not going to look innocent to everybody that sees it. And so
And I
that
think
could cause some unwanted attention
I
to
think that
appear.
kind of goes back to the box that can connect to policing was okay, you got a call, concerned citizen says so and so's conducting themselves X, Y, and Z in this place. And it's a concern for legality and safety and stuff like that. So you pull up and you're the cop. Put yourself in the cop's place. And you show up to an empty park. And then there's this dude there, and maybe you smell the weed, maybe you don't. I've definitely smelt it when I wasn't smoking it, so I know when it's around. And you see a skateboard, and you approach. It's like, hey man, I got a call about something going on out here. What are you doing? So I'm just skating. It's like, have you smoked any weed at all? Because at this point, all I've done is smelt it, you know, and that's not admissible in court that I could blame it on you because I didn't see you smoking it. So there you go about the observation side again. And it's like, is there a crime or isn't there a crime? And it'd be like, hey, well, it was nice to meet you. I don't see you doing anything, and I don't know what they're calling about because it was kind of a vague violation of the peace, but skateboarding isn't violating the peace. And so many people smoke weed even in illegal places, and you never catch them. You just show up, and it's like, oh, I smell weed here, but there's no people here. It's like, oh, what am I gonna do? And you say, have a nice day.
And that's how it should be. That's how the interaction should be. Nobody's getting harmed. Nobody's has any loss or anything. It it should just be like, all right, I'm just checking. What's up? Have a good day. No problem.
You know what I remember? I remember sometimes the cops would pull people over when they were driving, and they'd be kind of drunk. And they may say something stern to you. They may give you a ticket, but then they let you drive home. Like,
Oh yeah, they did that to my friend after three DWIs.
crazy. Yeah.
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild. Let you
Yeah.
drive home.
Sometimes they'd follow you. If it was close enough, they'd give you an escort. But other
Yeah.
times they would just cite you and let you drive off.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. I
Well,
think.
I'm sorry you got harassed by the cops,
No, I'm not even
but
mad
you
about
were
it.
smoking weed
It's
at
just
the
Jeff. Like
public parking lot.
that's where our difference, our big difference is, and that's where I would call like I called you the B word,
The
uh,
bootlicker.
bootlicker.
I
Yeah,
would lick a cop,
it's
depending on the
because
cop.
I bet you would. You're kinky
If he's
fool.
sexy,
Um,
if yeah, it's the
but
right type of guy.
you like will follow along with what is on paper, what is called law, and I don't follow that.
Mostly,
I
but I'm
follow
not. I,
my morality. Like
I, there are
Uh,
some little things I bend around. I don't follow it 100. Like I'm not obnoxious about it,
you do have to be careful, I think, in that
but I
opinion
don't
of
go out
the
of my way to break it.
of the idea of the bootlicker, because the free citizen that gets approached by authority, armed and protected, um, yeah, I mean, you can fight if you want to, but guess what? If you win a one-on-one with a cop, now you have every cop looking. So it's on the free citizen to protect themselves at all times. The bootlicker is the one that's going out there to fuck with you and is willing to fuck with you and puts intent into fucking with you because, hey, I get paid by the hour. You can run all you want. You're just gonna give me overtime, motherfucker.
all
And
right,
I think that
wait,
is sad. I think
just
that is sad.
just to be clear, sorry, untrackable. I just want to be clear. Our definitions of bootlicker are totally different. So I might have the wrong definition. When I
He
say
calls me a
bootlicker,
bootlicker because I'm law abiding and I like paying taxes and I like working my corporate
Oh,
slave job.
you like paying taxes?
I do. It makes me feel like I'm contributing to society and helping to keep civilization going. I
Mm.
think that's a noble thing. Like it's almost a privilege to be able to do that.
You know, that was supposed to be a temporary thing. I mean,
Taxes,
you,
because that's been
yeah.
around forever.
I'm
Now,
not talking about paying.
Oh.
it hasn't been around forever.
They were in the Bible had taxes, tax collectors.
Yeah, I know,
uh,
but
So
they
it's
here,
not
were
a new thing. It's not something the
certain
U.S.
taxes,
did.
but not all taxes. And it's not just the taxes themselves, because they don't all need to exist. I mean, how can you say you own a property, but then you're still going to tax it? Because you're taxing everything else. You're taxing every dollar we spend, you know, every dollar we earn, and stuff like that. It's like, when is enough is enough? Because if you're going to tax everything, it's like, yeah, then people are going to start to hate taxes. But it is important to know that you don't have roads if you don't pay certain taxes. You don't have uh, you don't have the police or the ambulances or the fire trucks that will come if
But
you don't pay taxes.
that's not 100% true. In my area, we have a volunteer fire department, and we have private roads that are maintained by private homeowners who decided to come together and build their own roads and build their own infrastructure and stuff. So, but yeah, on like an entire country scale, it probably would be really fucking hard to figure out.
Yeah, there's a certain thing to states' rights, like you guys were talking about, cannabis and stuff. One, I do believe it should be legal federally. However, I think they don't want it to take over the agricultural capabilities. So when you talk about like corn, it's like, oh, people used to skirt by and they have this big old cornfield, and in the middle of the cornfield they cut out and they grew their own marijuana. Or the same thing with the tobacco fields. Or you would completely flip so many farms if you just said, yep, federally legal, you can do whatever you want with and it would reduce food supply, and then food would cost more, but weed would cost less. That's what I think about it.
Well,
Hmm.
they could actually use it for paper, and the seed they could use the seed, which has a lot of protein in it. So they could use that as a product. There's a lot of different products they can make, clothing and whatnot, textiles, and so it's not. Yeah, they would lose a lot of like food, I think, but isn't that a good thing to lose all that corn? Because like all that high fructose corn syrup that goes into our food is killing us. It's terrible for us.
Can
Right,
they
but
make
corn.
sweetener out of weed, like weed syrup? We could replace the corn with the weed.
No, I'm just saying like that's probably one of the first crops that would go, because corn is like it's a huge nutrient sucker, and you plant it in huge fields just like you would marijuana. So it's like it's a no brainer.
It's also a viable potential for natural gas.
How are people going to get their corn on the cob?
You don't get your corn on the
Just
cob
grow it
from
in a lab?
most of those like that are factory farmed for high fructose corn syrup. That's not where you're getting your sweet corn from. You get the sweet corn from the sweet corn farm.
That's something that I've paid attention to, is like, everything was sugar before high fructose corn syrup. And then, you know, the cost of getting a soda, it become so much more manageable. But that's because they're not producing sugar, or they're using sugar for other things, or the deals that were made for sugar didn't work out. And then it's like, oh, well, high fructose corn syrup is bad for you. You're going to look like a balloon if you drink that shit all the time. And but then you have like diabetic people that can't consume sugar products, Be, because maybe it's an aftermarket of the high fructose corn syrup. But at the same time, some people just don't use their bodies. Abuse of the soda stuff, it's still abuse.
Soda abuse? I think Seattle tried to do a soda tax. It might have even passed.
Life expectancy in America has gone down, bud. Like, look that
To
up.
what?
It went down.
about gout.
I mean, but there's something to be said there too. It's like I don't live my life based off of statistics. I will be a number one day that they can add to their math, but I don't worry about what everybody else did. I don't worry about their um, sample of collection of data, and be like, oh, I'm supposed to live to 88. Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, Philly does too. I think a lot of cities started doing them.
No, but it's all good. It's like, hey, this is the world we live in, and these are the things that we get to talk about, and we wouldn't be us without discussing it. You know what I mean?
Yes, we put the us in discussion. But these are the same conversations I think we've always had. Like, since you could probably hear people in the 70s having these conversations, maybe the 60s, even the 50s.
I'm wrong. It went up like 2 point something years.
The
I'm wrong.
expectancy.
Yeah, like just recently, but it's gonna go back down. Trust me on this one. I'm calling it right
What
now.
is it now? Do you know?
It's 78 or
Oh,
something.
Lord, I have a while. Chink, do you have anything to add or contribute? You've been quite
78.4.
respectfully quiet,
Yeah. It's
suspiciously so.
this is a thought-provoking discussion because we're talking about quality of life, the things we consume. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, like the internet started coming around with AOL 56K. It took like 10 minutes just to load a nipple. Now you got kids with a smartphone, they can game on it, do all kinds of shit. And it's like I think what we need to be mindful of is the variable of artificial intelligence. Like untrackable, you were talking about like life expectancy living up until about 80, but I figure if the singularity awakens, you know, hopefully one day, like I can upload enough of my consciousness so that the singularity can reconstruct me in a digital form, and then I can get downloaded into a 3D printed body,
Oh
like
my
digital
God,
immortality.
that's not gonna happen. You know that's not gonna happen.
Could
You
be, could
no,
This
be.
is whatever. Like, enjoy your time on YouTube because that's all the immortality. I'm afraid that
That's true. That's
we're all
true.
that
gonna end up with.
that is true. Basically what you said. But it will have to come from a perspective. It will have to come from a witness. And so, just plugging something into your brain and plugging it into a robot, I think we're way farther away from that. But if someone were to witness you, especially like we're talking right now on this platform, and the way you speak and the questions you ask and the answers you give uh, was compiled into a personality and put into an AI. Is that how you would like to interact um, when the robot gets to go back out into the world
Mhm.
versus just if the like Jeff was questioning about your integrity status earlier about is this what you are now, what you would put out into the world if you were um, AI'd into uh, a physical thing.
Bro, I love that thought-provoking question. Like online, a lot of people they present an idealized version of themselves, right? A lot of them like pretend to be something that they're not, like, and their life off of the computer is really shitty. So online they have this persona like I'm rich, I'm this and that. But I think the core essence of what it means to be human, like, should also incorporate flaws and all, to to err is to be human. So I think that I think if it one day we have that option to upload our consciousness into the singularity, like it should include flaws and all. I mean, what makes us human? Like our mistakes, right? Our shortcomings, and trying to find some kind of redemption, right?
Yeah, I also think too that like you said, to be human is to err, and I do believe that. But I would also say what it means to be alive means one day you will be dead,
That's
and
true. That's true.
and and to think that the memory of what you have done, the good and the bad will carry
Yeah,
on, but your failures will draw the rules for the next generation.
that's true.
Your successes will draw the success from the next generation, and the two will always be at conflict.
True. Damn, I like that. That's some profound like existential shit. And I think of like look at these days. They got this company called Alcor, where if you paid enough money, they can cryo freeze your head, or for a certain price, they'll cryo freeze your body in some
That's
like
ridiculous.
liquid nitrogen suspension, so that one day, like when
I think
technology
Michael Jackson
progresses,
had
they
that.
bring you back to life, right? I think I think mankind has always like asked itself like what comes after death, like you know do we
Well,
continue on, do we have a soul,
No,
right?
nothing. Nothing.
hey,
Nothing.
I'll take it back. I'll take it back. Science fiction.
All
Have
right,
you
let's
ever
go.
seen have you ever seen like a vampire story where it's like, oh, you're a vampire, so you can't die as long as you drink fresh blood and all this stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have, have you ever seen like the comedic side of it where it's like, I have a thirst and I want to live, but sometimes I question why? Because the shit just keeps getting dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber. And it's like, I don't need your money. I just need your blood. And you fucking retards keep reproducing such viable, candidates to be eliminated from your society.
Yeah, yeah. It also reminds me of that show Highlander, where the strongest survives and they cut heads off, and then they gain the power of the person that they conquer. But yeah, like yeah, you're
Yes.
right. Like society in the world is getting more ridiculous. It's getting like more crazy. And I
It's
don't
the
know if it's always
same
been this way.
society.
It has it, and I think the internet has just made it like more accessible. Like the
Yeah, I
retardedness of
think the
humanity.
internet we're getting a new glimpse or broader glimpse at the same society that's been there for decades and decades.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a new. What may be new, slightly new, is these younger generations that are growing up within it. So they're not getting quite the same socialization that a lot of us have. But
that's
as
true.
far as just general human society, I think it's the same one, more or less. Vampires and
Yeah, I often wonder, because I got kids, right? I always wonder what kind of world they're going to be growing up into. So, like, while I'm still here, it's my job to try to impart and cultivate like certain character traits so that they can fend for themselves. They can learn not to be manipulated, to rely on the strength of their own mind. But yeah, man, like that's one of the regrets I have about having kids. Like, fuck, what kind of world are they going to grow up into?
what do you find helps the most with that? With like instilling that in them?
Oh, what I find most best, I I I allow them to cuss. I allow them to cuss, to make fun of people. I allow them to use any kind of language to
Have
express
safe.
themselves. And most importantly, because I have a daughter, I've taught her from a young age that the first response out of her mouth is to always say no and give 3 reasons, to always be disagreeable.
Why 3 reasons instead of just no? Like, I don't have to
Um,
give you a reason, just no.
yeah, that's a good point. So the no as the first response and 3 reasons is to kind of like circumvent any kind of like mind fuckery that whoever it is they're talking to will do, because people are slick. People know how to finesse each other with words. They may come at you with a smile, but then behind their back is a knife. So 3 good reasons, it's like you already circumvent them trying to like checkmate you with some other bullshit, right?
Yeah, I can attest to that. Is that I I used to give my daughter like as much candy as she wanted. Like I would stop on the store on the way home from work and pick her up from school, and I would get her something different each time, like a Reese's cup or
A
the
payday,
Starburst and stuff like that.
sugar daddy.
And she was still on her. I'm a candy freak, so I definitely I taught her dad tax. So like when I give her candy, even when I don't do it myself, she will break off a piece and come bring me some candy and be like, "Dad tax." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, baby." But the thing is, on her baby teeth, she starts going to dental visits and she gets cavities. And so now mommy's getting on me because I'm the one giving her all the sugar and all this stuff. And it's like, well, so then I said, payday is Friday and I treat myself on Friday. So how about we just make it a Friday thing and I'll keep it simple. And so that worked. But then I missed a Friday and she blew up on me. And
The
I
daughter
said,
or your wife?
oh no, my daughter, my daughter that didn't get the
She didn't
candy.
get her candy.
So she blew up on me and I said, hey, I forgot what day it was because I have to work the weekend. I apologize, but it's a no. I'm not going back out, just because we had a deal. So I failed. And then, this happened a couple times over 2 years. And I told her, I said, hey, how about you don't bring it up? And then when you get it, you get it. Because that means that not only what was I thinking about you, but I also had it in availability to give it to you. So when I say it's not there, you don't get to get mad because I don't want you to expect the candy. I want you to get it and enjoy it. And I
But
have since failed,
you're the
and
reason she expects it because you built that expectation.
I did, and I also, for the more or less broke it. But she has found different words to ask because it used to be, "It's Friday. Where's my candy?" And I'm like, oh, I completely, hey, sorry. You know what I mean?
So she
To,
finds ways to ask without coming out and asking, even though you.
for instance, she'll say, "Daddy, what?" I pick her up from school and we walk home, and she says, "Daddy, what day is it?" I'm like, "It's Friday." And she breaks my heart with one question: "What day is it?" It's Friday. Oh,
Oh, I
fuck me.
love her. I think the kid's gonna be all right. She's
But you know
sharp.
what? She gets so much, and teaching her to do without. I think that's very important. Like that whole everybody gets a trophy. I mean, sometimes teams win. Teams win. But look at the Super Bowl. Who holds the trophy first? They can't all hold trophies at the same time, but there's always somebody that gets that honor.
The black guy.
If you don't get that honor, Are you gonna sit there and be butthurt? No, you're gonna feel lucky you were even on that fucking roster, bro.
Good night, Lubas. Or Luba, whatever your name is. He left us a unicorn, some zucchini, and a steak. Thank you. We'll be able to do a lot with that.
Untrackable. I really enjoyed that. You know, it's like even in those moments where you know, you failed to deliver and your daughter's thinking of all these creative ways to hold you accountable. You know, it's moments like that it builds character, right? Like she may not get it because of her age, but maybe one day when she's an adult, she'll be like, "Oh wow, my dad really tried. He really tried, and I was busting his balls, and I learned a lesson from that." But yeah, man, it's like I always ask myself what my legacy is going to be. Untrackable and Jeff, it's like I just want my legacy to be like I want my kids to remember me and
What
like
do
all
you
the
think
stuff
it's
I
gonna
taught them.
be?
What do I
And
think
do
it's
they?
going to be?
Yeah, and do they know about your YouTube work?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
I figure, you know what, Untrackable and Jeff, it's like if I were to unexpectedly die in a car wreck tomorrow, there's enough of me that's been uploaded to YouTube and social media. It's like a fingerprint. It's like a
But is
digital
this the real
photograph.
you? Because that's what I'm still kind of struggling with. Is like
Yeah. Yeah, it
this is
is. I
what you
mean,
want to represent you as the legitimate you?
yeah,
Because it
why
still
not?
feels like there's a reveal coming that we don't have the full you.
Yeah, why not? Like, there have been times when I've come on panels where I've like acted a fool or used a lot of colorful language, but that's just me. Like, you know, I'm supposed to be a professional. I'm supposed to be like straight edge, but I'm just a
You
regular
do
dude.
seem it
Yeah.
way more than most.
But yeah,
I,
that's
I,
my legacy. If I die and my kids would be like, I wonder how daddy was. So they'll just pull up my name on YouTube and be like, wow, my dad was wild, but he's a pretty cool dude. And it kind of models also because, you know, kids these days, they're going to start doing YouTube like every day. You're going to be like, oh, this is how my dad was acting when he was interacting with like certain personalities. So maybe they get something out of that.
How many kids do you have?
I got 3. How about you, Jeff and Untrackable? You got kids yet?
I
No,
have
not
one.
yet.
1. Okay.
Just the
Yeah.
daughter.
Yep, that's my only one.
Yeah.
And we started. This sounds like an excuse, but we started later. Um, but you know what? No, I have no regrets.
Yeah, you wouldn't trade them for the world. Same thing with me. I started having kids late. My pullout game is weak. I'll probably be working for the rest of my life. But I'd rather have kids at this age, guys. I'd rather have kids at this age than in my 20s when I was a knucklehead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. Well, at least
Because
you're all being dads. That's I admire that. We love our dads around here.
I,
And
That's
I,
right. Father's Day is
I
coming.
sure as they'll do.
Right. Father's it is coming. Like when? The next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
and I realized something. Like ever since I had my kids, it helps me to understand the way that my mom and dad were parents to me.
Hmm.
You know, when I used to think that they were like I didn't like really respect them as much as I should before I had kids, but now that I have kids, it's like, oh wow, now I know why my mom and dad were telling me this or acting this way to me.
And
It's
I
like,
can tell you, as a
yeah,
child of divorce, I know that my mom said a whole lot of shit about my dad, but I still knew who my dad was.
yeah,
And when I got the opportunity on my own, I spent time with him because it wasn't provided before. I saw my dad maybe like once a year, um, for a weekend. So like, you got this stereotypical thing of like, oh, this weekend you're with your mom, this weekend with your dad, or this week with your mom and this week with your dad. I saw my dad one weekend a year, and he picked a holiday or birthday season, and that was that. But when I got the choice on my own, I still loved him enough to connect with him and have some pretty serious questions in which he talked to me just the same way I'm talking to you now. He gave me a cool, calm explanation of how he felt back then versus how he feels in the time that I was asking him those questions. And I was like, okay, I haven't had a relationship problem since.
Good man.
Wow.
You found peace with your pops, and do you forgive your mom and dad for whatever stuff it was that you held against them since you were young? Do you forgive them at this moment in time?
Oh, hell yeah. Uh,
There you go.
I would not have the opportunities to have had, I'm 42 years old, so I'm not new. And I've been through some things and done some things that, you talk about police, you talk about the military, you talk about just having a job and just trying to survive on your own. All of these things are aspects of life. And hey, I would not have learned the lessons that I learned if I wasn't here, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, and I wouldn't be me if I didn't witness, and I was a baby. So their split, it it's not even in my category of memories. Growing up split is exactly how I grew up. But, I am thankful to have found the communities that I have found from being a child. And uh, uh, hey, having a friend makes a big difference. And you know what? If your friend's parents are solid, they'll probably teach you more lessons than even the mom that you actually go home to and lives under your roof. And it was like, hey, why do you spend so much time over there? It's like, well, because they got a solid household. You know, I'm not ashamed of it. This is life. You only get one of them, and every lesson, no matter how painful it is, even when it's the truth coming from your own creators, it's like, hey, uh, I don't want to do what you did, but I do kind of want to be like you. You know what I mean?
That's
And
deep.
again, these people will go into the ground, and I will carry their legacy and love them for having created me. And then I will do things, and then the repetition. You understand?
Good
Cyclic
man.
rhythm.
Good man.
Well, he must have been not less. Um, well, does anyone have anything they want to wrap up with? I'm gonna have to wind down.
Yeah, when are you coming back on again, Jeff?
Probably not tomorrow, so most likely Friday evening. And I don't work on Saturday, so I'll be able to go longer. I'll probably do a Friday night thing.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say before I pass it off to Untrackable and Moose is like I've been on many panels since entering the panelverse for about a month now, and I just have to say the vibe, the atmosphere, the culture of your panel and your community, it's righteous. You
Oh
know,
Lord,
it feels
righteous. Y'all hear that, y'all?
Dude,
yeah. I mean,
that put a
like
smile on my face.
we're
Sorry.
talking about like deep stuff and sharing life stories, and it's so different from everything else. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, same to you, Chink. Thank you for coming up. We'll see you again.
For
Yeah,
sure.
dude.
Track.
I'm gonna bounce out here real fast because I always love to hear what Untrackable has to say. Um, guys, if any of you found value in today's broadcast, I implore you to dig deep into those pockets and grab that credit card out and maybe send a super chat, super chat or one of them super emojis or something. You can feel good about yourself. You're gonna uplift Jeff, and you're gonna buy him some large fries from McDonald's, and he's gonna grow a little bit because he could use some meat on his bones. So thank you guys, and it was wonderful time again. I've got to run. You got to run. You can't stay here, but we'll be back tomorrow. Peace.
Okay. Take care, Moose. Do not you put use credit to do anything on this channel. I'm serious. Okay, let's see who's left. Oh, hang on. Sorry. There we go. Untrackable. Track.
Yeah, you know,
Barcelona's track.
this was a very fun show that I feel like I got to participate in tonight. Um, Dr. Chink, all the love. I think I've seen you one time before, but um, you're a dude doing dude stuff, and when shit gets deep, I appreciate you sharing, and also allowing me to share, because I think that's where the basis of it is. Like, we have our witness, and then we talk about it. But talking about things that we have not witnessed, it goes back to the box, and it just makes more questions. So,
Back
Jeff,
to the
thank you for
box.
having me as always. I love you guys, and have a good rest of your week, and I will see you again. All the love.
UT track. Take care. All right. I guess that is our show. Chink.
Thanks, Jeff. I'll see you at the next show in a day or so. And
See you in church.
see you in church.
Meanwhile, happy paneling.
Take care.
Take care.
This is my rendition of Deicide. Blame it on God.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Take care.
Take care. All right. That is the show for today. Actually, it's like 3 minutes away from 2 hours. I might try to go for 2.5 more minutes. What's Bugle Buddy? Oh, is that where he worked? The Daily Bugle? I remember. Who was the boss? Was it Mr. Jameson? How do I remember that shit? I don't know Cameron Hayes. My Bart, good night. Thanks for hanging out. And not lost, thank you for the ice cream's gone up that much, huh? Thank you. You know I'm gonna spend it on fries, but I'll pretend like I'm using it for ice cream. Thank you, sir. Your complex father raised you well. You didn't have to tell me your people were complex. That could be inferred. Actually, though, it can't, because I'm complex myself. And I don't know if you would know that from the rest of my family. So I think you could be a complex oddball, a changeling, as Freud would call it, changeling child. A lot of us probably were, maybe even all of us. This might be the land of the changelings. Oh, okay, so that was another notorious not loss troll. All right, I got less than 30 more. No, less than a minute and a half to go. I think I'm gonna push it to 2. My Tylenol's wearing off, so I feel my cold starting to come back too. I'm dipping. I you're not. You had me. Why do you do that to me? You really had me thinking this whole time that you might actually be Superman. I don't know how I let my mind lead itself astray that way. I swear you're good. You're one of those rare ones. All right, like 40 seconds. And then I'll get out of here, I promise. Until Friday. Friday night, we're gonna do it upright. We're gonna do it right, uptown and out of sight, 'cause we tight. All right. Good night.